Now let's think about initialization. We've initialized that control with some static text. The text box we're not going to initialize because the user will enter stuff in there. The list box we've entered by code in the page load method. The buttons don't need any initialization. We'll handle some events later. The timestamp label does need some initialization. So let's think about where we're going to put that. We can't really put that in the markup because it's clearly going to change each time we run the web page. So we really must put it into the code behind class. So if we bring back up the code behind class, and in the page load method, remember the page load method is invoked every time the page is requested. If we put code inside this section, the is postback, then the initialization will only happen on the first visit. But we need to initialize the timestamp every time the page is refreshed. So we need to put that code outside the if statement here. So let's do that. Timestamp label.text equals datetime.now. That will give us the current date and time, and then I'll just convert that into a string, and that will display the timestamp label on the page. Okay, I think it must be time to test the page again. So let's Control F5 it and see what it looks like now. So I'll enter a fictional name in here, John. And let's choose some countries, Australia, France. No, I wanted this to be a multiple selection list box in case I wanted to visit more than one country in the year. So that's not working yet, is it? We'll need to set the multiple selection mode on that list box. What about these buttons here? Well, these buttons do cause a postback, but obviously we haven't handled the events yet, so there's nothing stunning happening at the moment. So that's something to do as well. So let's go back and close the window and go back into the web page, default.aspx, and in design mode. So here we have the list box, and the list box has a selection mode property, and currently it's set to single, so I can only choose one item from the list box. Let's set that to multiple, so I can select multiple items. And let's run it again, Control F5, and just make sure we can indeed select multiple items. Oh, great, there we are, lovely. Great, so let's close the web page and think about where we're going to go next.